We basically want to share how blogging with our Year 2 children has led us on a journey that has both teachers and children learning from and teaching others across the world. It's been quite an exciting time. You'll see some slides in the background just illustrating what we're saying today, but they don't necessarily relate to what we're saying at the time, if that makes sense. It's just a random collection. Do you want to press play on it already? We started blogging with our classes in September, and this initially was just lovely, and the parents loved seeing the children's work on the blogs, and talked a lot about it at home. But we felt that the audience, that the people that came to our blogs, was quite limited, and we decided that we needed to look into widening the audience, and we started using Twitter to advertise our blogs on there, and we started to attract a wider range of people to our blogs. And eventually we got into touch with quite a few people, but especially one school in Japan, and we developed a lovely working relationship with the teachers and the children via Twitter. And sorry, basically. What is really powerful about using Twitter with children, I mean, both our classes have their own Twitter accounts, is that the children are able to ask questions, get a really quick response as well, and some very powerful conversations. At one point, for example, the school in Japan had experienced an earthquake, and it was a whole discussion between my class and that class about the fear and the anxiety that children had felt during that time. So it's quite special and emotional. And our children really started taking control of their learning, both on Twitter and on the blogs as well, using the camera to take photos of their work, writing their own blog posts, and then at home as well, looking at the blog, leaving comments on their work, and we feel that it really has improved their literacy confidence.
And it was actually through Twitter that we found out about quadblogging. David Mitchell, some of you may be following him, also known as Deputy Mitchell on Twitter. He started this project to help schools in his hometown of Bolton to gain a regular following for their blogs, so that children had regular comments coming in. It turned out to be such a success that he opened it out to the rest of the country and to the world, and now there are 50,000 pupils in 1,500 classes across 35 different countries quadblogging away this year so far. Basically what you do, you sign up via the Quadblogging website, and we'll give you details of that at the end of the slideshow. David matches you up according to your preferences with other schools in this country or across the world. This obviously depends a lot on who is actually signed up at the time. And one of the 4 teachers volunteers to take control and be the quad coordinator. They organise the dates that you're going to quad blog with, the communication and so on. Each week, in rotation, the schools take turn to look at each other's blogs. So it's a 4-week rotation. And then each week, one school, hopefully, will get lots of comments on their blog. But actually, in reality, we found that we're actually looking at each other's blogs the whole time. So it's not really turned out to be just one blog's focus at a time.
Well, it doesn't always work out straight away. I started the first squad last year, and unfortunately all the school websites that I was looking at with my class, they were all blocked. So I relied on screenshots, the children writing comments, and then me going home and then adding the comments onto the different blogs. But it's kind of starting to work better now. This year I'm only blocking with one school because the other schools dropped out again. It's a real shame, but the relationship that I do have with this one school is really powerful. Unfortunately, I had to wait for them to start school because they're in Australia, and of course their school year is very different. What is really lovely is that when you look at another school's blog, the children might be learning, for example, about odds and evens, and my class might say, well, I remember learning about this, and this is what really helped me, which you then add to their blog, and they comment back. So the children are advising other children how they can learn about their topics. And It also allows children to engage in other schools' topics, because of course if we're doing London a whole term, it's quite limited in one way, and if other schools are learning about different topics, it's kind of meets everyone's interest, so they're far more engaged and kind of are involved in other school challenges as well, which is lovely.
My class are currently in a quadblog with a school in Australia, one in France and another in Norfolk. And personally, my first quadblogging experience has been so rewarding that we've embarked on another rotation of 4 weeks, as we felt we were only really just getting into it as the first 4 weeks came to an end. And actually this week, as our second cycle has come to an end, we're actually decided to carry on the rest of the term with our schools, because we feel we've really made some good friendships. Paul has very kindly managed to get most of the blogs unblocked, although there are some parts of the blog in the French school that we can't access, which is unfortunately the comments box. But we found that the children are going home, and even if they're not leaving comments, they are looking at the blogs of the other children, and sometimes at school I'll put up a blog and I'll say, oh, shall we have a look at this blog? Oh no, I saw that last night at home. So it just goes to prove that children are really interested anyway. And over the time, we found that a combination of writing about our daily learning, photographs, we've done sound files, we've done videos, and it just makes the whole experience a lot more real for very young children.
You want to say a bit?
I think the other thing that we found is that actually the experience has forged real friendships and has extended beyond now our classroom. In fact, one of our quadblogging schools, the one in Norfolk, as part of their their last Ofsted report, they had to make links with some schools in an inner city surrounding. And so they asked us whether we would get involved with that, and our year ones were about to start blogging with their year ones to help those children understand what it's like to be in a city. And of course we get the reverse, we get to understand what it's like to be in a rural area. So that's one Ofsted box ticked.
So what are the downsides and frustrations? I mean, Paul has been fantastic getting certain sites unblocked, but it takes a lot of forward planning. Currently we have to every time go to Paul and get the sites unblocked, and it would be absolutely wonderful if you could just visit the class blogs of other schools that are learning similar topics, or there are lots of well-known poets that have got wonderful blogs that we can't really access in schools, and we'd like to, or other significant people that can help us more. Twitter, I mean, we use it a lot in our class, but we are relying on our own phones that we use under the visualizer, and we have to, I'm not sure how okay this is, but the children are sometimes typing on our phones onto Twitter, but it's such a wonderful media to use really that we don't really want to deny the children this. Yeah, so hopefully in the future all these things will become easier, but we do hope that more schools will start to use Twitter and quad-blocking with the schools, because it's a wonderful experience.
And of course, apart from TeachMeet, it's the best free CPD you can get. I mean, I've been very lucky that my blog has had some real movers and shakers in the educational ICT world involved in it, and so I've learned ever such a lot personally. Thank you, that's the But anyway, I'll just say on that note, do please visit our blogs, look at our blogs, see what we're doing, get some ideas if you're not doing that already, and hopefully you'll feel inspired to have a go at this. And we have got some details which were on the last slide but which has already gone, but we have got a handout if you want it, if you're interested. Okay, thank you very much.